we are at Black Horse Farm Caravan and Motorhome Club site.
The destination is on your right. Black Horse Farm Caravan and Motorhome Club campsite.
The usual ferry pitch area is closed at the minute, but it'll do us for tonight. Right, let's go and get my coat and we're off to the pub. Hello everybody, welcome back to Bella's Big Adventures. My name's Sue and today we are heading on out for the first time in what feels like forever. In fact, the last time we went out was probably Ireland, and there's a story behind that. We had a bit of a disaster, so she's been off the road for quite some time. But in the meantime, I've got to get some water in the system, because if you are a regular viewer, you'll know that I drained it all down, ready for winter. We did do a de-winterizing video last year, which I'll put a link to up here or in the description below, so you can see that if you're taking your van out after winter storage. It was our intention to actually go on over to the pub here at Denstone, which is called the Black Horse Inn. But unfortunately I didn't book, so we just walked over there and we were told in no uncertain terms that there was no space. So if you are intending to eat there, and it looked quite cosy and warm, they do a Sunday roast, you need to book. That's the next job. Get the water in the system, get the taps running, get the boiler filled up, and then we can have some lunch and relax. Speak to you later. Right, pumps on, taps on. As you can see, to get it through into the boiler, you turn it to hot and it starts sucking it back into the boiler. Morning everyone, we have made it to the Eurotunnel. We were just leisurely wandering around, getting dressed and showered and adding water to the van, and realised we were supposed to be at the tunnel. But fortunately it's super early, so we haven't missed it. It's quite quiet. In fact, this time of year I think they pretty much throw you on any train. But they have been doing some upgrades. It looks quite impressive. They've got some what looks like new passport check-in, self-check-in. It's not open yet, but yeah, they've been doing works for a while, the last few times we've been. But anyway, we are now queuing up to get on the train. So it's currently, as you can possibly see, 8:33. The sun is shining and we're just waiting to get on the train. Right, well, while we're having a safety instruction, we're also making some breakfast because we didn't have time to get any. And we can, yeah, so we did make a flask of tea, but we didn't get any toast or anything. Afternoon all. We have basically been driving through France. We have been on the toll road, so it's not been very exciting. In fact, it's been freezing fog all the way down, so not much scenery to see, to be fair. We are now in Verdun and we are heading towards a camping car air. So once I get there, I'll show you around. I don't think there's going to be many people about. It's been really quiet. There we go. This is where we are. This is Charnay-sur-Meuse. There is a little lake. And just over there are some services. We think there might be water. There's definitely a waste drop anyway, and the entrance barrier. And apparently, if we walk over this bridge here, there are restaurants and cafes and a boulangerie. So we're going to have a little wander and see what we can see. There's a little overview. Doug and I were just saying that in the summertime this would be beautiful. The river's very full at the minute, so quite flooded. There's also a canal, so you've got the river and the canal and the pond on the side. And there is canoeing here in the summertime too. Well, we found the boulangerie, which is 5-minute walk from the site. Quite a busy road, but it is open. And it looks like there's a bar down there, a little way down there. Right, well, we went into the boulangerie. Got the traditional baguette and a couple of cakes. The town is mostly closed, in fairness, apart from the boulangerie, but it looks quite nice. There's a couple of restaurants, both closed. Nice steaming bowl of soup to warm us up. Oh, it's so cold outside. Looking forward to this. And now for something a little bit sweeter. Not quite sure what it is. Looks like a chocolate brownie, and Doug's got a macaron raspberry, whatever raspberry is in French, I forget.
Framboise.
framboise, or is that not strawberry? I don't know. Anyway, and we've got some lovely filter coffee. So that's us for the afternoon. Morning all. Another cold and crisp morning here in France. As you can see, it's not as frosty as it was yesterday. The trees aren't white. We are actually the only ones here now. Here we are on our little spot. There are in the summertime toilets and water and stuff. In the winter obviously there's just the bollard that I showed you yesterday. And what I haven't explained to you yet is where we're going and why. I'll show you on the screen. You might have noticed while I was cleaning the window that when we came back from Ireland last year, all the way back in July, we parked our van up in the storage near to our home because our drive's not big enough. And when we went back to check on her a week or so later, we discovered a huge crack in the windscreen. We did get a tiny sort of stone hit the very, very top of the glass while we were driving along, but it didn't crack and there wasn't a chip evident. But it was on the black bit at the very edge. Anyway, went back after a particularly cold week considering it was summertime. And went inside, didn't notice it from the outside, went inside and noticed this big crack down the passenger side. And yeah, we tried adding some of that sort of chip stuff that you put in to stop it spreading. And it hasn't actually spread since then, and we're now in February. The reason it's taking so long to get repaired is that the insurance company, fine, yes, take a photograph, send it, they approved it. They said you can get it repaired any way you like. So because we were in England, we thought, right, we'll try a garage down south somewhere. Recommended screen repairer. So off we went, rang them up, explained, put them in touch with our insurance company who gave them all the go-ahead to do it. They then told us it was going to take 16 weeks to order the part and obviously import costs, etc. because of Brexit and whatever. And yeah, and then they sent us the quote eventually. I mean, it took a very long time to get the quote in the first place. Gave us the quote. They wanted £12,000 plus VAT, and they wanted us to pay it up front before they ordered the part. Now this has taken 5 weeks for them to actually even give us the quote, by which point we'd already rang Heimer in Germany and said, how much for a screen, how long and when can you do it? And they said, tell us the name of the glass, which we did, the code on the glass. And they said, well, we have them in stock. So as soon as you can get here, we can fix it for you. And it will be €7,000 fitted. €7,000, not pounds. And the UK wanted nearly £14,000 up front. Heimer, and I know we complain about them a lot because prices are high for parts especially. The moral of the story is go to the horse's mouth if you want something, especially if you're in the UK. Oh, look. Sorry, I always stop for wildlife. A couple of swans flying by there. Yeah, the Facebook group were telling me that they'd had their screens replaced for like £1,000 or £2,000. Unfortunately, A-class screen with lots of gadgetry involved. Obviously, the box on the front has got lane assist and all that, heated elements and wind. I don't know, it's got all sorts of electronics involved. And it's a big screen. Anyway, €7,000. So that's where we're going. We're off to Heimer, Bad Waldsee in Germany. We've got to drop it off on Thursday morning at 8 a.m. Today is Tuesday. So we are somewhere in France, near Verdun. Today we're heading off to just south of Baden-Baden. We have had, it's been a bit of a disaster to be fair, on top of the big crack in the screen, loading the van up to come here, put the milk in the bottom shelf and it fell out and smashed on the floor. So that's another anything that needs replacing. I think they're about 25 quid or something to replace. Yeah, it's all going. There's always something when you've got a motorhome that needs fixing. Before we set off, we did go to a garage, fabulous garage, M5 Leisure near Cheltenham, and we had a service and a UK MOT because we wanted to check that there was nothing seriously wrong with the van before we set off. We're going to hit the road and head off to almost Baden-Baden. Alright, we are just leaving. I don't know if you can see the crack in the screen there. It might need to be dark to be able to see it, but there we go. So we're turning right here and heading off to Buhl in Germany. B-U-H-L. Don't know if that's how you pronounce it.
In 3.2 miles, at the roundabout, take the second exit onto Avenue Pierre Gabertet Jean Van Heeg.
We've had a slight change of plan. We're not staying at Buhl, or whatever it was called, because it was in the middle of a town and it was a bit built up. And there was nobody else there, so we decided to carry on a bit, and the sun has come out. The sun is shining. It's somewhat of a better parking spot than the last two we tried, which were just basically car parks. This is in a lovely little village whose name I cannot remember, but I'll find out for you. Right, let's go see. There is somewhere to plug in. There's water and grey race behind the church, but we haven't found that yet. You also got to pay tourist tax to the Rasthouse or tourist office, so I need to find that too. Nordrak or Drach, depending. I don't know how you pronounce it. Nordrak. And there's lots of walking places. Information. Yeah, so if you do stay here, that's every quarter of an hour until 10 p.m, starting at 7 a.m. in the morning. How pretty is that, especially with the sun on it? I'm going to get some shots now before the sun disappears because it is already 3:45, but it's a really pretty little town. And the tourist information is immediately across the road from the church. And you have to pay your tourist tax there. It's €170 per person per night. But isn't it beautiful with the little bunting? So shops, restaurants, cafes, parking, beautiful little church in the Black Forest, basically. Even the bus stop's cute, look, with its little pitched roof and oak timber framing. I always think these look like they're like fists in boxing gloves when they've been pollarded. But look at this beautiful little statue. Isn't he cute? Parking is right next to the graveyard, so you don't want to be a spooky person. Some monumental headstones here. There is actually a public toilet right next to the graveyard and a little water fountain. So we have got wastewater disposal, and it says not drinking water on this side, and then there's a hole in the ground which is presumably for toilets. There's a button to press, so looks like you could grey waste in there, not toilet waste, and possibly toilet waste down the hole there, although there's a rinse button here. And then, as Doug says, it doesn't turn on at the minute, but there is a coin to put €1 in there for 10 minutes worth of fresh water, which is quite a long time, 10 minutes. 100 litres roughly, it says. Back to the van. It's not a very big town, but it's very cute and it's got fabulous views and it's lovely and peaceful with I don't know whether there's 6 or 7 hookups. 8 is there? Right. Okay. And a little picnic table and a bench you can sit on and look at the view. Is it a lounger? Oh, it is, yeah. It's got little bendy bits on it, look. So I've plugged it in that end. It's currently turned the dial to number 4, so we need to put a euro in and it lasts for 6 hours. I don't know what time it is. There we go. Number 4. Put the coin in. Marvellous. Seems to be working. 6 hours power for €1. Can't be bad. The sun is still out, given that it's been so foggy. That's pretty cool. Let's see if you can see the crack in the windscreen. I don't know if it's showing up very well. Right, we're back in the van. Doug is just rustling us up a little bit of stir fry. Doug did pick up a few things in the little shop. Got some meat, some German sausage.
Black Forest ham.
Is it Black Forest ham? That's what it is.
Schwabian noodles.
Salted noodle beans. German noodles, very nice. But we're not having them tonight. We're having stir fry that we brought with us with some ready cooked chicken and some noodles. Morning all. We had a very pleasant night here. Beautiful, beautiful site. It's free to stay. It's just you have to pay for the electricity if you want it. We are just leaving. As you can see, it's a cold and frosty morning. There was nobody else here. The church bells do ring every quarter of an hour, but they're very nice sounding ones, and on the hour until 10 o'clock at night, and then they start again at 7 o'clock in the morning, and they went on for quite a while, but bring a couple of foam earplugs, you're fine. You can just hear a slight dong as it goes on. So we are heading now to Bad Waldsee in Germany, obviously, where Heimo is based. It's about a 3-hour drive, I would imagine, from here. We are in the Black Forest, on the edge of, I think. So there's going to be lots of lovely hills and trees and things to see today, and it's such a beautiful day, we might get some scenery to show you. To be heading back into freezing fog. Here we are, we have arrived at Bad Waldsee Thermae Air, and as you can see there's 7 or 8 vans here already. There's some instructions, there's a nice little map of the town. This is where we are, I think, Standort, and we're going to head towards the lake in the centre of town, I think. And over on this side we have got bins, fresh water, toilet waste and grey waste. It's €13 to stay the night plus tourist tax. That's the second thing what it was called, tourist tax per person. So you have to put how many people on the machine, how many nights, and then you can buy tokens for electricity if you want them, and they are €2 for 1 kilowatt hour, which is slightly more expensive than we were paying yesterday. And we're just going to see how long one token lasts before we put some more in. Yeah, so it's conveniently located to get into the town. So, you know, parking around here is plentiful, but it looked really busy just driving through. So we'll go and have a look, see what we can see. We're here for a couple of days. Obviously, we're here one night, dropping the van off in the morning at 8 a.m. and then we're heading over to a hotel for the night because the screen will be replaced and then the sealant has to dry. So we've had to book into a hotel and we've asked for early check-in, which cost extra, but it saves us walking around with our luggage for the day. So yeah, let's go and see what Bad Balti has to offer. This is Bad Balti on a Wednesday in February. It all looks shut. Well, I don't think it is. I think it's just quiet. If you've been here in the summertime, let me know. Is it as busy as this? It's quite pretty, isn't it? Bunting, the sun's come out again. Beautiful old style buildings. Isn't there's a car coming? It's a pedestrianised area. I don't want to get run over, but how pretty is that? Doug's found a cook shop, but look at this beautiful painted church at the end of the street. Doesn't that look fabulous in the sunshine? Isn't that beautiful? And look how blue that sky is. Signs of the zodiac painted in the little arches. Well, that's time for us to go and drop the van off at the garage, head on over to the hotel, and whilst the screen is being replaced, we'll be heading on over to the Erwin Heimer Museum and also have a good look round that Heimer showroom, all the fabulous vans on offer. If you enjoyed this video, please don't forget to give me a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't so you don't miss any future updates from Bella's Big Adventures. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.